This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
All right. So today we're going to talk about 80s sitcoms that happen to do with Pro Tours. Maybe detective shows.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the MVP Open. I'm going to talk about Paul McBeth. Little fun fact as I was scrolling through some stuff.
Okay.
I want you to guess when the last time he was rated under 1035.
Rated under 1035.
Yes, but we're going to get to that.
Oh, boy.
And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12 people that are coming for contract. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
But these are the ones that I just wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So,
Good deal.
outside of that, is there anything else you want to add?
Not off the top.
Not off the top?
No.
Not off the top of your head.
No.
Okay. Well, you did take the hair off the top of your head. I noticed.
I gave myself a haircut yesterday.
It's nice. It looks good.
Yep.
You didn't miss too much.
No. I tried to cut them all.
Yeah. Tried to get all the hairs cut.
All the hairs.
So my daughter today lost it in the car laughing because she saw a reel
Okay.
of a guy's bald spot that his daughter bedazzled his bald spot. And so she thought it would be really funny if I bedazzled my bald spot.
Oh, my goodness.
So I told her, go for it.
Yeah.
I do not have a bedazzled bald spot right now, but she said she wants to really do it. And I said, I wear a hat all the time anyway, so even if you bedazzle it, no one's going to see it. And she goes, but what if I take away all your hats? And I said, then I will proudly wear my bedazzled yarmulke, I guess.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know where that came from, but because you got your hairs cut. That's
right.
Okay. So, so we'll just jump right into it. So, I want to talk about the Paul McBeth thing. So, there is a level of like magnitude of player, and we all know that ratings don't matter, right? Until they do.
Yeah.
And we will talk about the kind of levels of rating. So we have quite a few people in that. What is that sound?
Yeah, what the heck? Airplane?
I think it is an airplane. Well, yeah, we get the airport right here.
Right,
so.
yeah.
It's really late for an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
So we have levels of people. So we have, that 1,000 to 1,020 rated.
Yep.
That's kind of just like a good pro. That's kind of your local pro, right?
Sure. I mean,
Maybe 1,000, 1,010.
I mean, there are some touring pros right now that are still in that 1,000, 1,020 rated.
That's like just breaking into the scene, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Just good enough to kind of hang.
Yeah.
Then you got like the 1,020 to 1,030-ish, which is kind of that second level pro, second tier pro, or second tier pro.
Yeah.
And then you got like the 1030 to 1040, which is like your elite level pro, or no, your tier 1 pro.
Yeah.
And then you got like that 1040 that they're like entering some sort of God mode, right?
Sure.
They're really good.
Yeah.
So other than the last 3 months, when was the last time Paul McBeth was below 1040? Now he's back above 1040. He went 2 months below 1040. Now he's back up above 1040.
Oh, is he? Okay.
When was the last time Paul McBeth went below 1040?
Wow. Let's see. Probably not 2015.
Nope. Definitely not.
I'm going to say 2013.
Close.
Okay.
January of... Give me a year.
Previous year.
Yep, 2012. January of 2012. He went 12 years without going below. He went more than 12 years. He went, 12 years and 5 or 6 months?
That's insane. insane.
With never going below 1040 and having achieved 1062 as the highest rating any player has ever achieved.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that nuts?
That is crazy.
So we talk about Paul McBeth being washed up. Not so washed up. He's been in that like elite tier for 12 years.
Right. And almost like his own tier.
Right. And his own tier for a little while.
Yeah.
Where he was 1055 and above for, I wish I could go back to it, but it was almost a year and a half. He was like 1055 or above.
Yeah.
Nuts. Like incredible. So Paul McBeth is not washed up, and he did average 1057 and came in second place in MVP Open on the tournament. So we'll see a bump coming out of him, I'm sure. So little glimpses. He set hot round last round, 11 under MVP, and that's impressive. So, and Joel Freeman was the only one close to him, which was 10 under, and did well. So we'll jump into MVP. With that being said, MVP by far one of my favorite tournaments of the year, and it was the final playoff of the season. And I don't know why we're calling it playoffs. I just don't understand it yet. Still,
well, it's still you're trying to make those final spots to get into Pro Tour Championship.
Right.
Right. You're kind of fighting for that little bit, to get in the top 20 and the top 32. So I guess that you could say that there's playoffs.
So is it playoffs or is it last chance?
I guess it's last chance in reality.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're not really playing off or anything. What you're doing is you're giving the top 100 people that last chance to kind of shuffle, and then the top 72 or something go or stop.
But yeah, I thought wasn't there supposed to be it's weird how it happened because there's supposed to be a cutoff after Green Mountain. But yet they still let people into the turn, into this tournament.
And from what I understand, that is people not showing up to the tournament, and because of like some of the top 100 players are European and they weren't coming over for these two. So that's ended up how they ended up letting more people in, and then there are other people that just decided not to play.
Yeah.
So they went ahead and let them in, and it is a money thing. I mean, tournaments need players and their entry fees in order to be successful.
Yeah, right.
Plain and simple.
Exactly.
So, hence the nature of disc golf right now is tournaments just aren't filling the way they used to fill over the last 4 years.
True.
Like, you couldn't even get into a tournament. You had to sign up well ahead of time, whether you're going to be there or not, and hopefully you would be able to get in. That's just not the case anymore. It's kind of going back to disc golf of old, where you could sign up the day of.
Yeah.
And it's getting back to that pretty soon. I mean, it kind of in some tournaments. So, so it was a playoff. Glad to see it. Like I said, one of my favorite courses. And I think it's one of my favorite courses because Simon Lizotte just, he plays on that course all the time. And it's one of my favorite, it's filmed well. Some of my favorite shots I've ever seen are on that course.
Yeah.
And it is one of those bucket list courses for me to get up there, play that course. Christmas Tree Farm, some of the earliest videos I can remember, or some of the earliest YouTube videos I can remember watching were on MVP.
Yep.
And some tournaments and stuff. So love that course. Iconic. I probably will always be iconic. And that used to be, used to be sponsored? That used to be a Vibram, right?
Yep. Vibram Open.
Yeah, Vibram Open.
That was, back in, I forgot when it first was. So, the new, on hole 1, they put up, I don't know what it's called, they call it the barn doors or whatever.
Yeah.
Right there. So I was watching Casey White's vlog, and on the inside of it, it has all the winners of Vibram Open, and then it switches to MVP. So everybody's name's on it. And so it was going down one side, and then last year they started the other side.
Oh, very neat.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
That is really cool. That's neat to, have that type of history there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the Dodge family's property, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. So it'll be in the family for a long time, the Boda brothers or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be accessible for a long, long time. And I know I've seen some changes in it over the years. and especially in some of the Christmas tree areas,
Yeah.
because they get cut down, grown back up. So you see big trees, little trees, no trees. Like it's neat how it changes that way. Castle holes, probably one of the favorite holes out there. Throwing up the hill up to the castle.
Oh yeah, that one's tough.
It looks tough. It sure does.
Is that 14?
I don't remember what number it is, but
Yeah, I just remember like you get up there and it's like tiered up on top. Yeah, that's one.
and then hole one in just standard play, which you're throwing over the water there,
Yeah.
like from the elevated tees. That's one of those iconic holes as well.
Absolutely.
You know? So
Actually, I like that So I was watching coverage. They switched it up. Like round 2, it was like the basket was just over the pond.
Yeah.
And that was interesting.
Yep. And that's traditionally that's where it used to be. And then they extended it and put it back in the woods.
Yeah.
And then they pulled the tee pads back. They added more tee pads back further up the hill. And then they left both of them, and it was just a bomber of a hole. I mean, these guys are still getting pretty darn close to it now. But
Yeah.
it's impressive. What is it? Just shy of 700 feet? No, it has to be more than that.
Gosh, what is it?
Oops. Threw my pen.
800.
Oh, 800. Okay.
53 feet.
So just shy of 900 feet.
Yeah.
That's impressive. But
Because I feel like it was closer, like in the rock wall area, the basket. I feel like it was closer, then they pushed it back a little more. But maybe that's not true. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of guessing.
I don't know.
Or
Like
not
once
guessing,
you get into the rock wall area, like the basket's further back into there. I feel like it was too. It was just kind of a little pitch up, and it was next to the tree. And I think about 2 years ago they pushed it back a little bit further.
That could be.
And then they bring in the OB also.
right.
And they made it kind of a double mando where you had to go between the two trees. So yeah, it's impressive. I mean, some of the changes they're making, and it's ever changing too. And they have so many different layouts and options. It's like I like Rolling Ridge, but this is like a Rolling Ridge on steroids plus.
Yeah.
You know?
It's that uphill one that we were talking about, not 14. That Maddie O actually aced hole 14.
Which one's hole 14?
Hole 14.
Is that the little downhill, like water's edge?
It's across the water. Basket plays a little closer. Like it almost kind of looks like hole 8, but not quite hole 8. Like you're still throwing across water. Basket's a little closer to the right side, water's edge. As I'm imagining. Yeah, I can't think of.
Kind of like a turnover shot almost, right?
Right, a little bit.
Okay.
And then there was somebody else who.
Or is it like a
aced as
forehand
well.
hole or?
No, because he threw a hyzer. Like he kind of played it out and swept it in a little bit.
Oh, I was thinking the one that was like putter turnover shot that Simon throws.
That's hole 5.
That's 5. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one Thomas Gilbert aced, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that one's only 262. But yeah, you just throw it out between some trees and then just left to right.
Okay.
Yeah, thinker kind of, but still pretty difficult.
I got to get out there to play. I just have to get out there to play it. Just anytime I ever have chance to travel, it's in the middle of winter. I just don't want to go.
Yeah.
So our winners. So we got James Proctor took it down.
Second career win and second win of the season for him.
Yeah, and that's a good win to have at the very end of the season there. And then Missy Gannon, the Cannon, takes it down.
Yeah.
So she does well. Just squeaks out Tatar.
Yeah.
So Tatar came in second, and she was in the lead going into the final round, and just kind of Gannon did well. Just gave it up. Is all it was.
Yeah, the final 2 holes just kind of did her in. Missy played solid there, neck and neck up until 17, and Kirsten bogeyed, and then double bogeyed 18.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't give up leads usually. And
No,
I don't know.
And she's pretty solid on that one because she held off Ryan, didn't she, last year? Or was it the year before she held off Ryan for?
I think because Natalie did win it one year. I thought.
I don't think she won it.
I could have sworn Natalie Ryan won something.
She was darn close, I remember.
Yeah.
And then I think she threw OB and Tatar. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
Because I remember there was a big deal about people like her winning it.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
God, I just don't
I don't
remember
know.
her winning one, but
Maybe I'm second guessing myself. I don't know.
yeah. I remember she was in the lead going into the last round for sure.
Yeah.
I remember
Right.
that for sure. So, yeah, so that's that. So we got our winners for the MVP last Pro Tour, and now we're going into the Champions Cup, right? Or no, what do they call it? The
Pro Tour Championship.
Pro Tour Championship.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll have an off week coming up this week. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be, shoot, I was just looking. Is it USDGC?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the 10th.
So that'll be awesome. So,
Indeed.
Pro Tour points, we have winners.
Yes.
And this is the 80s sitcom, or 80s detective show.
Yeah.
So when he said it, I was like, wait, so it's Gannon and Gannon. So
Yep.
it sounds like it's like some sort of old show where it's like, today on Gannon and Gannon.
Yep.
And then they go on and do something. But yeah, Gannon and Gannon. So Missy Gannon and Gannon Burr are your Pro Tour points winners. So now they get something for that, right? Do you know?
I do not remember specifically. I remember, like, I think they get a trophy. Like, they have a,
Okay.
they always had a, I didn't watch today. So, typically what happens is, like, they will award the MVP Open winner. So, like, James got his, like, big MVP thing, big confetti, everything I saw. And then after that, they usually award the Pro Tour Championship. Because I remember Ricky a couple of years ago won, and like they made a big deal of it. That's the same thing with Calvin last year.
Yeah. And they always jump in the pond. I don't know if they jumped in the pond.
Yeah, the winners.
Yeah.
I mean, the winners of the MVP Open do that. Yep. So Missy won by actually like a pretty slim margin over Holland Hanley, only by about 18 points.
Oh, geez. And that would have been from this win.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, Holland. Yeah, Missy gained 60 points on Holland in this. So like Missy got 150, and then Holland finished in sixth for 90 points. So
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then Kristen finished in third, just behind Holland with 1,370. I'll just go through the top 20 real quick, just to tell you who qualified for Tour Championship. So we got Missy Gannon, Holland Hanley, Kristen Tatar, Owen, Evelina, Ella Hansen, Kat Murch, Natalie Ryan, Henna, Annika Sten, Rebecca Cox, Haley King, Silva, Paige Pierce, Heidi Lane, Valerie Mondahano, Lieke Lorentzen, Emily Weatherman, Lisa Fakis, and Hannah Wynn. Oh, that's the top 20 for the FPO.
All right.
And then MPO.
And Gannon Burr kind of ran away with it, didn't he?
Yeah, he won by 100, almost 150 points.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. And beat out Ricky. So Ricky came in second. Then it was Nicholas, Calvin, Isaac Robinson, Paul McBeth, Ezra Robinson, Anthony Barella, Chris Dickerson, Kyle Klein, Joseph Anderson, Medio, James Proctor, Gavin Babcock, Aaron Gossage, Adam Hammis, Presnell, Gavin Rathbun, Jakob Semerad, Simon, Marweed, Evan Smith, Casey White, Cole Rodallen, Mason Ford, Joel Freeman, Luke Taylor, Eagle McMahon, Robert Burge, Vino Makala, Corey Ellis, and Emerson Keith. And so just missing out, Luke Humphreys, Bradley Williams, Ezra Aderhold, Jake Ebenheimer, and then we got Yuli, Ben Calloway, Alden Harris. So a couple of people. Luke Humphreys was actually in. He was number 32, and all he had to do was hang on. I forgot what place he had to finish. And he just missed out by 16 points, or 14 points. So, yeah.
So
But, I mean,
they gotta hope
congratulations to
one of those
Emerson.
guys don't show up, basically.
Right? Pretty much.
Man, that's too bad. So Keith is actually one of the guys that we're going to talk about in just a couple seconds.
Yes, yes.
And then so is who just didn't make it?
Bradley Williams, Ezra, Rob,
Ezra. No,
Ben Callaway, Yuli, Alden Harris.
who's the one that just missed it by 14 points? Hebenheimer.
Yeah.
He's actually up for contract as well.
Oh, okay.
I didn't write his name down because he made a splash just very vaguely, and he's kind of lived in obscurity for
Right, like he made that big splash at DDO,
yeah.
and then he had the old horseshoe putt, and
He should have
Right.
kept the horseshoe putt. That's what kept him kind of in the radar because everybody's like, it's so weird, and now he doesn't do it anymore.
yeah. Well, I know what I was going to say too is Statman had this stat with Proctor's win. Mm-hmm. It's the 7th time in a row that somebody trailing has won MVP Open.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it creates a bit of drama because of how hard that course is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is kind of crazy.
So it's always an exciting one to watch because you never know.
Yeah, let's just take a look. Okay, so let's see. 2018, Conrad comes from 3 back. 2019, Paul came from 1 back. Paul came back from 2 in 2020. Hamas 4 in 2021. Simon 6 in 2022. Matty 2 in 2023. And then James Proctor this year by 2 strokes.
Wow. Good for him. Well, and Paul almost did it. Almost did it again. And that would have been from 11 back? No, it would have been from 6 back. 6 or 7 back.
Yeah, I think he was, let's see.
Because he was 6th going into the last day. No, 9th going into the last day. Somewhere like...
Something, yeah, he was, let's just bring it up real quick. Yeah, Paul was in 8th, and he was 6 back, yeah.
That would have been a big one to just watch, too. Mm-hmm. Man, so... All right. So this is what we're going to talk about now for the rest of the episode. We're going to talk about moves, player moves. Mm-hmm. So I want to kind of get ahead of it a little bit because I know some of the stuff is going to be talked about. So since technically we're at the end of the season, I'll throw up air quotes, which I hate this in disc golf. I wish there was that's the tournament, we're done.
Right, because now all of a sudden it's... Because then DGC, throw pink.
You got all these big tournaments, but technically the Pro Tour is over. We've had our World Championships. Mm-hmm. And now there's USDGC, throw pink, and then there's probably 6
Tour Championship.
And then Tour Championships. And you're just like, come on, disc golf.
Right.
It's
when
pretty
does
easy.
It end?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
There is an end, but...
Yeah, there is.
Like with that.
But is there, though? Because as soon as that ends, you have maybe a month, and then January starts, and you're all over again.
True.
The big tournaments start again, but...
Because they don't have the wraparound events anymore. Do they?
I don't know.
I don't think they don't.
I don't know. The ones to get the tour card and all that stuff. They were like the plus events or whatever they were.
Yeah. Because it was weird because there's people going into the season that already had the points. Like Luke Sampson was leading at the beginning of the season
before any tournament was played
because of these wraparound events that were happening in November.
Yeah,
end of October. So he was leading for a little bit, and so was McBeth, I think, at one point.
Yes, yeah. Because he always played that one down in California.
Sure.
Yeah. So, we'll talk. So I got a couple names. I'm going to go list off the names, and then we'll just kind of go one by one what we think. So we have Ezra Robertson, and these are all contracts that are coming to an end this year.
Yeah.
So they will be up for contract. We have Holcomb. We have Zach Melton, Clemens, Cox, Emerson Keith, Ella Hansen, Casey White, Anthony Nebrilla, Ezra Aderhold, and Brody Smith. So those ones I just chose, there's probably at least that many more that are coming up.
Okay.
Tatar comes up next year. I thought it was this year. She comes up next year. But yeah, so let's talk about Ezra Robinson first. Mm-hmm. He has said in this last interview, actually for MVP, he said that all he wants is a manufacturer. And don't quote me, but this was the gist. He wants a manufacturer that he's happy to support and is happy to support him. That's all he looks for in the end of the day.
Okay.
So, pretty obvious he's not happy
with
where he's at. Mm-hmm. Where do you think he's going? He's not staying with Prodigy. Guaranteed.
Man. Where do I think he will end up?
Prodigy does not have the dollars
So here's what I'll say.
to make the sense.
No. I know Isaac is really close with all the Discmania guys. I don't know how close Ezra is. I would feel like he's pretty close to him, you know. But I don't see him going that way. I could see him being maybe on that second tier, like Discraft team.
To second tier, okay.
Yeah, like not the elite.
Yeah.
But the tier just under that, like Chandler
Tour-
Fry's
tour
team.
team.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. So you
Even
think
though
Discraft's
he's-
going to scoop him up?
I think they could, yeah. I feel like he's made a good enough name for himself that he could potentially make himself on the elite team, but I feel like they're kind of full. Plus a couple people.
Yeah. I'm going to go just simply out of desperation. You're seeing the big move from House of Discs,
Yeah.
kind of moving disc golfers back into the roles of leadership, right? The original guys that started the
Yeah,
companies.
right.
I think you're going to see him go to House of Discs. And I'm going to say DD's going to pick him up.
Okay.
Because next year is Ricky. No, yeah. I forgot what it was. Ricky's coming up soon.
Yeah.
So, but you put Ezra Robinson in there. I think there's a good chance. Sarah Hokum.
She's not leaving. I don't think she'll leave MVP.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Do you think MVP will offer her another extension?
I would think so.
Okay.
Even though, I mean, she's just kind of on the tour, but she's also doing the Masters thing as well. So I think that's fine.
Okay. I think the same thing. The only concern I had is that has she reached a... Is it time to put her in the cellar? You know, like is it the fine wine? Like,
I know what you're saying.
Kind of hide her somewhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, jeez.
well, no, it's not meant to be mean that way, but you know, it's like
No, I know what you're saying. I just saw her name on like she finished like 38th in Pro Tour points this year.
well, she does well in the Masters Tour. Like she does very well in the Masters Tour.
I mean, she didn't really stand out anywhere. I mean, she had third at LWS, and then she had a sixth at Texas States, and that was her highest finish. Otherwise, she had a smattering of like 30s, 20s, around there.
But don't you think politically that she's made a bit of a splash recently with the Natalie Ryan thing and stuff? Do you think that that will play into some of her being re-signed or not?
I don't think so.
Because I don't know anything about MVP, like if they even care, if you decide to do stuff like, if you decide to stand
I don't
for
know.
or against something.
Right, I don't know either, really.
A hot button.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Hokum, we'll say she's staying.
Yeah, that's my guess.
If not, being put in the cellar. No, they don't have a cellar, man. Their place is too nice. They don't have like a dark, dingy area. It's all like clean and beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude, did I mention that somebody took a tour of MVP and it's not a disc golfer. It was like a...
Oh, yeah. I watched that.
It's great.
It was...
What's that
Because we
guy's
talked
name?
about it.
We did, but we didn't talk about it on the air, I don't think.
It's the...
I subscribed to him and everything. And all of a sudden I'm like, what is this? And then I watched it.
So yeah, like it was him, and he went into MVP, and they explained how it was like all about how he was manufacturing discs and the gyroscopics and everything. And I think he said he wanted to do another video on like the actual flights and stuff.
Yes.
But I can't.
Well, they are working on it.
Yeah. But I can't remember something about smarter every day.
Smart engineering or smart.
Shoot.
Yeah.
But it was a good video.
It was a great video.
Because he sat down with the brothers or whatever, and then they just took them all around. They're showing them like, okay, this is where you load the plastics. This is everything. You know, it was cool.
We got to keep it dry. This is how, and it is an amazing facility.
Right.
And then they showed the robots and all that
Yeah.
stuff that are making all the making all the discs and everything. I'm just like, that is awesome. And then it kind of showed, they didn't show how they do the stamping.
No.
Show how they do the general, just single stamp. He actually did one. But then they talked about like kind of some sort of patent, like the way they do the triple or foil stamps, and they wouldn't show that. There's a couple other things they wouldn't show either.
Yeah. It was funny too, because I don't know if they said it, but they're like, this part of the warehouse is newer, and you're like, oh, that's the part that Simon paid for. Or like James paid for.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, but it's really neat to see all that stuff. And I did realize, but it just doesn't seem like it because, you think 2012 is like ancient for disc golf.
Yeah.
But and they've only been around for 10 years, 12 years.
That's crazy.
And they're like, yeah, impressive. So, all right, go on to Zach Melton. Currently DD, I don't see him going anywhere else, but.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean,
I don't know if anyone will ever like actually take him, honestly. And it's not that he's not bad, but like dollars can be spent better elsewhere, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
he's a great personality.
So here's the crazy thing is it's right now, it's him, Ty Love, and Kona Panis. Or not, yeah, Kona Panis. That's their supreme team. That's the upper team of DD. And then it's on the championship team, it's Ron Converse, Chris Smith, Eric McCabe, and Ricky.
Yep.
And I'm kind of like, okay. And then under that's the fusion team. I'm like, there's a lot of people on here that I don't really know too much. Sarah Gilpin, Raven Klein. That's about it. Like I don't really recognize any of these other people. So it's like, okay, you kind of need to make a splash.
Right. Yep.
And I just see Zach just staying.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Because he's a team manager right now, or team captain, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. I think he will be. He's a good asset in that regard. But man, they need to get someone, and I really hope like Ezra Robinson or they can push someone like that. But realistic, I think Discraft is where he's going to go. I'd love to see him go to a place like that, but no. All right, Clemens is up at DD. I mean at Discraft.
Yeah. I don't know. Gosh, could he?
Do you think Discraft keeps him?
Maybe. I feel like it's so weird because like I didn't really see or hear much about him this year since making a move. But I don't know what his contract's like, so I feel like they could just sign him again and
Sure.
that'd be
like
it.
pretty small fry.
Yeah.
Not Chandler Fry, but small fry.
Yeah, I mean he's on the touring team,
Sure.
so
Okay.
yeah, I think that would just be the
So
way it
Clemens
goes.
is going to stay.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't either. I'd love to see him. Not love to see him, but I think it'd be fun to see him go back to DD.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
I know. That's what I was kind of
I
thinking.
think
Like looking
bridges
at
have been burnt.
yeah. I know that's kind of what I was looking at on the page. It's like they could think about signing him, but yeah, I don't think they will.
Rebecca Cox, Latitude 64. I feel that she stays. She has made the largest impact she's made this year, but I still think she stays. I think there's a loyalty factor there, and doesn't her dad have some sort of like work in some way, shape, or form?
He might.
I thought there was some sort of connection there, but
There could
that doesn't
be.
mean anything because
You're right.
Shu left and her dad was still there at the time.
Right. And then like Kona left, Innova, when her dad's working there. So
Dad's still there. Yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah, I think she stays as well. I don't think there's any reason for her to not stay.
here's the next one. Emerson Keith at Innova. Went to Innova this year.
Yeah.
Got picked up after leaving Lone Star. So he has been kind of a manufacturer whore a little bit. He's been jumping around.
Yeah.
So he was at DD. Seemed to be happy, healthy at DD. No, 64. No, he was a DD guy.
I think it was DD.
He was a DD guy. And then went to Lone Star, kind of on a whim. Like no one really thought he would leave. He just kind of went.
Right.
And then to Innova. And everybody knew that was happening.
Yeah.
And his contract's up this year. Now, Innova is not very keen. You look at all these people. I mean, like Yuli. I mean, not Yuli. Coling has a 1 year.
Right.
You think Philo has a 1 year. Like you think of all these people, they all get 1 year contracts.
Yeah. I think probably Calvin's the only person that doesn't.
Right. Calvin, Sexton, because Sexton makes a ton of money from, sexy birds. So,
exactly.
Do you see him going anywhere else?
Tough to say with him.
Well, and the nature of what the industry is right now, who's going to take... You're going to try to make real smart moves, right?
Right.
Because there's not a lot of money out there right now.
No.
So, yeah, I think Innova has always had a huge team, and I think they're going to keep a huge team.
Probably.
And I think Keith will stay there. Emerson will stay there. This is the one that I'm kind of most excited. There's two I'm excited to talk about. This is the one I'm most excited to talk about, Ella Hansen.
Okay.
Up at Discmania.
Yeah.
Do you think she will get scooped up by someone else?
I hope not.
Because she is good friends with Melton, right?
Yeah. Decent.
They're
I
decent
think so.
friends.
I just don't think Discmania will let her go. I mean, the only other... Unless they come in and, with somebody bigger than Ella. Because, the only other female I can really think of is Cynthia Ricciardi on their team right now.
Right, yeah. Who else is coming up that would be somebody that they would want to, on the FPO side? Tatar is too rich for their blood.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a sister team anyways.
Yeah, it's like a lateral move.
Stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
Who else is someone out there? You could go after Handley.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Handley's up. No. Handley's up this year.
Yeah,
I think
she
is.
kind of takes those.
She took the short-term deal because she wanted. Yep. So Handley's stock is high.
Mm-hmm.
Handley would be a good one to grab.
Yeah. And I feel like her and Ella are pretty decent friends as well.
Mm-hmm. So would you see Ella going to Discraft?
No, I don't think so.
So you think she just lock in?
Yeah, I think she'll just lock in with.
She's locked in.
Yeah. I think now that Discmania is finally giving her signature discs, I think she
has a signature disc.
Showstopper.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think she'll be fairly happy there.
Yeah, and Discraft doesn't have that. I mean, they'll put your name on a disc, but they won't traditionally, unless your name is McBeth or Pierce, give you a disc.
Right.
So, I'm going to say she is going to House of Discs. She's making a lateral move.
Okay.
To DD.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I want to be a contrarian. I think she's going to say Discmania as well because she's been there since the beginning. The only other place I could see her going, truly and honestly, because of the familiarity with Discraft, with her Ultimate background, is going to Discraft.
That makes sense.
But outside of that, maybe DD, moving within the company she's already in.
Yeah.
Which, does that really count as a move?
Not
know.
much.
All right, Casey White, Discmania, another one coming up. I personally don't think he's going anywhere. He won't, I know for a fact, go to Trilogy.
Right.
He won't.
Yeah.
So who else do we have? MVP? He could go join his boys.
Yeah, he could.
For sure. And I think that would be really awesome to see. But I think he is a bigger fish in that smaller pond in Discmania right now.
I think so. I think the past couple of seasons has really been growing his game. And I feel like Discmania will probably take note of that. I mean, even though they signed Gannon and they, signed Alden and Gavin Babcock the past couple of years. And I mean, potentially they could go after Isaac. Mm-hmm. I think he's happy where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he is too. I think if they offer it to him, he'll stay.
Yeah.
I think he'll stay. Plus, he had the Skywalker.
Yeah, and Skywalker. Yes, 2 Skywalkers
Yeah,
now.
2 of them, yeah. So I'm going to skip him because he's the next hottest one that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Aderhold, he is up at Discraft.
Yeah,
I think he's staying.
probably.
Because he was an Innova thrower before that, right?
Open bag.
Oh, he was open. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was open, and then, he's like, yeah, because that was like 2020. 2020, he was like an open bag, and then sponsored by OTB.
Oh, that's right.
And then
He still technically is, though.
he still technically is, I believe. And yeah, I just don't see him moving on from Discraft. I'd be pretty shocked.
Yeah. All right. His counterpart, Brody Smith. Now, it's not really his counterpart anymore, but
Right.
Brody Smith. He, on the last podcast, mentioned that he's already having talks because it will change.
Ooh.
So he did mention that
He said that on
role
Tour
in
Life?
disc golf is going to change.
Okay, because
He's simply not willing to give up trying to start a family with his wife.
Oh.
So, and he says, when you do that, I'm not going to tour. He
Yeah.
says, I'm not going to put in the time and effort to be a number one. Like he says, I've done that. I've been at the pinnacle of sports, a couple sports.
Okay.
And he says, I know what the effort takes, and I'm not willing to put that effort in anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, huh. He goes, that doesn't mean I'm not going to put in practice or put in work, but I'm not going to put it in to be the best player in the world. And he goes, I just have to have that conversation with Discraft. That's what he said.
Well, that's interesting because I never really felt like he was putting the practice or like
I
to be
don't
the
think
best
so
either. Like,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, maybe when he came out of the gate, because you think
Well, right.
where he started to where he was after the first year, that's impressive.
Sure.
And then, the second year the first to the second year, that was also a very impressive move. I mean, he went over 1,000 within, less than a year? He was over 1,000.
Okay.
And then.
But when you're playing on tour where there's people
still 1,000 rated.
Yeah, I know.
It's still
yeah.
1,000 rated. Like, I don't think I would play 1,000 rated.
No, probably not.
But you're right. Like, and he's kind of stayed there. Like, I think his highest was like 10-14 or something like that.
Something like that.
So-
still, I mean,
But and last year he didn't really play that much. This year he didn't really play that much.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I get it. Like they were like moving around a lot because his wife went back to cheerleading and whatever. But it seems like he's into the sports card.
Yeah,
thing.
now he
Like that's
has a
more
new
exciting
thing.
for him
Yep.
than playing disc golf. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know.
but he's got foundation.
Yeah.
And it's not that he hasn't been known to switch sports pretty easily.
Yeah, right.
But he's got a company and everything now. Like, I don't think he's in all the other sports he's been in, he was never tied to a company.
Sure.
And now he's like an owner in a company.
Right.
Right?
How long do you think that'll last?
All the way until Hunter gets sick of the burden,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion. Depends on what their arrangement is. Now,
Oh,
if
yeah,
he's
right.
like,
Exactly.
if he's like I don't know, CMO or something like that, like Brody's a CMO
Yeah.
and, Hunter's the CEO, that makes sense. So if you're chief marketing officer, like Brody does a pretty good job with that, right?
Sure.
But I don't know. I don't know. It seems like the back end of the business Hunter's doing.
Yeah.
But maybe Brody injected a ton of money into it or something like that.
That could be.
And he brought a lot of expertise too. Because I don't know if you've listened to their podcast or watched their YouTube videos recently. They are agonizing with the amount of ads they have.
Oh my God. Yes.
It is.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, I've actually stopped listening and watching because I'm just tired of it. And it's not even the ads that are put in by YouTube or Spotify or
Right.
whoever
No,
you're
no,
listening
no.
to. No, it's in-video ads.
It is, right. Like, okay, let's do this, but here's the word from this. And they
Yeah.
plug something, during the video. I'm just like, oh God.
And I get it.
I do.
I mean, that's money.
It is.
They're getting money. But, man, they do it a lot.
We could do the same thing.
We could. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. And that's the hard thing. So, after this, I'll start talking about it. So,
Yeah.
With Brody, what do you think about him and where he's going? Or do you think he's not going anywhere and he's just going to change his role?
Yeah, I don't think he'll leave, because I think Discraft sees him as a good investment. Even though, like, I would just plain namesake about like how many discs he's been selling and everything. Like, that's not an issue for them if he's not playing disc golf at all.
Right.
So I think he'll just stay.
Well, and with the digital platform that he has, like,
Yeah.
he still has the largest platform in disc golf. So, I mean, it's a good market.
Yeah. And as long as he's willing to push their discs through that platform, and yeah, I think he's just got too big of a reach to do anything else.
Yep, I agree. He hasn't made very many YouTube videos recently, though.
No.
I don't know if I've seen a YouTube video he's made recently.
Well, because, with him not being on tour, it's Ezra and Aaron Gossage. They're the ones that are doing all the practice round videos together and touring together. So it's mainly them. It was before it was Brody and Ezra.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Huh.
I don't know.
We'll see. All right, last and certainly not least, Anthony Barella is up for contract.
He really only signed a 1 year?
1 year.
Unreal. Huh.
Smart on his end.
Well, yeah. Right?
Smart.
Considering the year he's had.
Yes.
Smart.
That usually doesn't work out that way, but for him, it worked.
Yeah.
So, Barella, man, last year started off hot in Vegas, kind of cooled down. This past year started off pretty well in Vegas and kept going this time. No, he wasn't in Vegas. They didn't go to Vegas. What was the first one they went to?
Chess.com.
Yeah, chess.com. Didn't do too bad there.
Right.
And just kind of kept going, and then took down a couple of them
Yeah.
this year and has really stayed in the hunt. So, man, where is he going? Because I think Discraft has the money to try to keep him.
I do too, yeah.
I think he has the connections in Discraft to stay. But can he be more valuable somewhere else?
Well, yeah, I think. Yeah, obviously, I think if he becomes like a number one at another company, that's way more valuable.
What company, though? So, Discmania has Burr.
Right.
Simon
An
for
Eagle.
MVP and Eagle.
Yeah.
Calvin, Innova.
Yeah.
Ricky at DD. I mean, he could step into Prodigy pretty easily.
He could.
Could go to Gateway.
Yep.
Lone Star. Yeah, Lone Star. He could Legacy. He could take down Legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. Who do we have? Clash. And then you got to talk about manufacturer sponsors. So you have OTB, Infinite Discs.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to either of those. DGA. I don't think he would make that lateral move, even though DGA is a separate company. But
Right.
all their stuff is molded by Discraft.
Yep.
I can't think of any other, like, you got Thought Space, you got Eat Street, you got, I mean,
Hooligan.
yeah, you got Hooligan, yeah. I mean, Lone Star is an option, but I don't think for Barella it is.
No, I don't think so either.
So I think really you got to stay
And
with
Innova's out.
I don't think Innova.
I don't think he can go back.
No. I think Innova had their chance, and they slept on him.
Yeah.
And I think he takes that personal. And since he's been with Discraft, he's done much better.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Right.
So,
just hot to start the season. And then kind of cooled off here and there, but
Yep.
Definitely his best season.
well, who does Lat 64 have on the MPO side?
Let's see.
Got nobody.
Albert Tom, Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got nobody. I mean, those aren't nobody.
I mean,
but
they
like,
used to have Tristan Tanner, but now he's with DGA,
Right.
and I forgot who else.
but no top tiers. I mean, none of those elites.
Right.
So, maybe Lat 64, because I mean, they have done the right thing with Tatar. Mm-hmm. Will they do that with the MPO side? Because they had Ricky prior to him going to Innova and then coming back to DD.
Right.
So
Westside has Matteo.
But I don't think Westside. See, Westside, it's weird. Westside's that kind of like redhead.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's really no leader of Westside. So DD is Rusco. Well,
yeah, right.
Weird, but yeah. And then you go back, like, Tomas is 64.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have Castaplas, but I don't think they have a big enough line to pull for AB.
Yeah.
I think Last 64 is really the only company.
Yeah.
Because that's the only headlining company that doesn't have a star on the MPO side.
Right.
What are you looking at?
Oh, interesting. No, I was just trying to go to Infinite. Oh, interesting. Infinite Discs is no longer infinitediscs.com. It's infinitediscgolf.com.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder what happened there. Crazy.
Infinitediscgolf.com, huh? Wonder if there's a trademark infringement or something like that they didn't realize.
Maybe.
Now that they're getting so big, they...
Well, it's crazy because I clicked on online store for them, but nothing's coming up.
Uh-oh. Did they snooze and let their URL lapse?
Maybe.
That
Dang.
would suck.
Because, like, really, like, I thought I was just going to see, like, on there and be like, oh, yeah, let's just look at more manufacturers who, like, I could think of, but there's no Infinite Discs online store right now.
Really?
I don't know what.
I wonder if I can log into the Infinite Disc wholesale site. See here, this is all happening live.
Anywho.
Yeah. So, Barella, I say Lat 64, just for funsies.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Infinitedisc.com. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Because when I went looking for it on my computer, it said server can't find.
Oh. Maybe. Oh, sure. Look at that. Server can't find.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Wild.
Well, hopefully that's just a little technical glitch on there. Hey, if you can't get on infinitedisc.com, doordisc.com, where you have all your disc golf needs. And we actually, I think, have a few Infinite Discs on there.
Okay.
I think we have like an Emperor.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple used ones too. So there you go. Yeah, so there you go. So Barella. So those are the ones. It's going to be an interesting off season. I don't think it's going to be a 2020 or 2018 off season.
Yeah.
But it's going to be an interesting off season. I don't see any huge moves that are going to surprise anybody. But you never know. We've said that before.
Right.
So
there's always that person that you're like, oh my God, they're moving. Mm-hmm.
So what's the over-under on the amount of years that Prodigy stays in business? Before another company buys them out.
Oh. 3?
You think 3?
Yeah.
So you go 3.5? Or
Yeah.
is it 2.5?
2.5.
Okay, and you're taking the over.
No, yeah, I'm going to say, I'll take the over at 3.
Okay. I'll take the under.
Okay.
I think if they don't sign somebody that is a difference maker this season, they won't be officially a company the following season.
Wow.
That's just my thought.
That's crazy to think about.
And I don't think it's 100% due to them. I mean, I think it's like 85% due to them, but I think the disc golf roller coaster that we have talked about in the past, it's on the downslope. And that's true no matter where you go and who you talk to, and it's happening. Like, we're leveling out.
Yeah.
The boom of disc golf has stopped. That doesn't mean another one can't happen, but I think Prodigy has just hit a horrible issue with flashing, lawsuits, no notable names, and now they're going to lose their only notable name, essentially. Only notable names.
Sure.
So,
Yikes.
yep. Let's see how that goes. I mean, they still got Shoestrick, though. Mm-hmm. He's still there.
Kale.
Yep. No.
Okay,
But there's some relevancy issues there. You know, like, it's not that both of those guys aren't amazing people and haven't done some amazing things, but, you know, it's like Holcomb. You know, it's like they're seller bound. You only bring them out when you want to impress somebody, right?
Right. Hey, we have this.
Check this vintage.
Yeah.
This is a circa 2005. So, all right. So here's some fun updates. So we have DoorDish.com, but oh my goodness, what was I going to say?
Look at me like.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay.
I didn't write it down either.
There's a new video up on YouTube.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. So we're reviving the YouTube channel.
Okay.
So what we are going to do, Matt Yates is going to start doing doubles matches with our team. And I will sneak in there sometime for one of them. And we're doing them at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay new course that Kale just designed and they just finished. And the line was set, I believe, at 8 under and is now at 10 under.
Holy cow.
That video will come out pretty soon. And then Matt and I have done a couple things, and there's just going to be random little smatterings of things. And then JP and I have been talking about trying to put our faces back on camera and uploading. We just don't want to do it the same way where we're sitting across the table from one another. So I'm going to try to set up a studio, like where we can sit down on a couch and talk.
Yeah.
But I got to figure that out. I don't know how to do it. I've been told a lot of things by a lot of people, and I'm not a tech savvy guy, but we'll figure it out. From what I understand, we can do it with our GoPros.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I just don't want to edit anything.
Sure.
That's the thing. I mean, I like edited enough to like, we'll put some music over it, but
yeah,
I don't want to do anything else because that other podcast, like the hour-long episode takes me like 4 hours. I just suck at it. I'm so bad at it.
Okay.
So as long as I don't have to do that, then we'll make it work.
Okay.
So you'll start seeing stuff on the Door Disc Golf YouTube channel coming up. Actually, there is some stuff, and they'll start coming. So it's pretty entertaining. They just talk about like what got them into disc golf, and then they play disc golf. So the first one is with Michael Cunningham, and they do a pretty good job. Michael loses a buzz, a really nice buzz, into a pond. Yeah. But they just kind of showcase the great play, but not so great play that some of us can have.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see the course.
It was really nice. Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll start to see some challenges. We'll start to do some stuff like that. And we'll be a little bit more refreshing. So we're not going to recycle Foundations videos. I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing out there right now. It's not something we're going to do. I'm sure we might on some of them, but for the most part, there might be some challenge videos. There might be some stuff. So I think what Matt and I did is we took overrated, underrated. So we took what's one of the most overrated discs compared to its counterpart that's really underrated. Oh, okay. So we did the Comet and the MVP one that everybody's loving right now.
The Uplink?
Uplink.
Okay.
No.
Detour?
Detour.
Ah, okay.
The Comet and the Detour. So Comet was underrated, Detour is overrated. So that's the way we looked at it. And then we went out and played. I played with the Comet. He played with the Detour. Yeah. Since he bags a Detour, I bag a Comet. Okay. And we went out and saw whose was really overrated and whose wasn't. Okay. So won't spoil that one, but that one will come out pretty soon. We lost the last hole on the good camera, so we ended up filming the last portion on the phone. Oh, really? Like, as soon as I went to pull it up to start filming, it went like, burp. I was like, So, actually, Matt did. It went out, and we were like, it was the last hole, too. Yeah, so that's a bummer. But there'll be some fun ones, and we're not going to do, like, these long, drawn-out. You know, we'll have fun. Mm-hmm. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Okay. Yeah. So.
Or anybody else.
Yeah, or anybody else. So, with that being said, is there anything else fun or exciting? Did you watch Beetlejuice yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. What's tomorrow look like?
Ooh, tomorrow's busy. Soccer,
Oh, yeah.
basketball, and more soccer.
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Ooh, that's not good. I might have to go to Green Bay.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday.
Yeah.
And, no. Oh, not yet. Tuesday is Caden's boy. Is coming to this world.
Wow.
Yeah. So Caden Stalky, good luck. Taylor Stalky, good luck.
Oh, boy.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see the little. Can I call him a booger? Will they be offended? A little booger. It'll be a booger. So, with all that said, wear protection or you'll have a baby. Does that work?
Okay.
You can actually still have a baby. They're only. I'm going to stop.
Yep.
Well, keep it subpar. Deuces.
In the toilet.
There it is. Bye bye.